It's amazing how things work. Today seems to be a little happier for me, which is surprising, but it's actually a rather bright day. As I said in my last one of these, I came across an old truck to use since I wrecked the old Coronet. Damn wet roads. But what happened was, in full, is I was driving around as usual, and, well, I wasn't driving at that point. Let me clarify that. I was walking around, and I stopped when I found this old pickup truck. And by old, it's like a 95. It's not that old, but it ran. And whoever's it was left in a hurry because the keys were still in the console. Well, that or they left and decided to come back and never did. Either way, I got in, and it was pretty much a godsend because I was getting pretty tired of not being able to go out when I needed to. And as usual, I took it on a recon, a perimeter check, and in the process took it out on a solid test run. Lucky for us, where we stopped at a gas station, of all things, again, attributing this to be a good day, it actually had gas still at the pumps. And hey, fine by me. Topped off my tank, topped off the Hummer, topped off a few more vehicles that we had. Well, that's a lie. We didn't top them all off. We split the rest of the fuel. I found it first, so I still filled mine and then the Chancellor's and Jacob's Humvee. We're not, on a more serious note, going to Charlottesville anymore. You see, we ran into a traveling trader. He travels on his own, pretty much carries everything on his back or on a cart. And when I say a cart, it was a wheelbarrow. So what are we in? The Middle Ages? Might as well be. So he was talking to us, and we told him, I made a remark about us heading to Charlottesville, and you thought that man had just seen a ghost. He froze. And we asked him what's wrong, and all he did was shake his head. He had a look of terror in his face, and we said, "What?" I almost slapped him to get him to speak. He finally spilled out that Charlottesville, when you go in, he said it's an amazing, amazing town. A little decrepit, but most of the things they did there, they tried to build and maintain some of the buildings that weren't burnt out, or they rebuilt the burnt ones and tried to maintain what was left. Yeah, apparently it's a bustling site for trade, which, we were like, why is that a bad thing? We can resupply, do some trading ourselves, maybe get some ammunition, maybe get another gun or two, offload some of the scrap that we've collected. Well, he said, don't go near it. He said that the people that enter into Charlottesville aren't allowed to leave. And so we were like, okay, what is this, a bad movie? Like, you come in, you never come out. Like, that's actually what I said to him, just like that. And he cut me a look and said, you laugh, but I'm dead serious. I asked, well, how did you get out? He said, I had to sneak out. I said, well, why won't they let anybody leave? And he gulped, just swallowed very heavily and said, they're a self-sustaining community. And I was like, oh, okay. They grow their own food. That's cool. And the Chancellor and Schulz were like, yeah, what's wrong with that? But he looked at me and then looked back at the rest of them with a look in his eyes. I knew exactly what he meant. He proceeded to say, they're a self-sustaining community, as in the people that are there have been there since the fall, and the people that go there never leave, but are never seen past the third day of staying there. Chancellor and Schulz didn't get it at first. I got it immediately. And almost in unison, the trader and I both said, cannibals. It turns out that as bustling a metropolis as Chancellorsville. What? Chancellor, what the hell? I can't talk today. Charlottesville really is. It's a human eating, self sustaining community. Visitors are the sustaining part of it. We have enough people in this convoy to feed an entire city for a couple of weeks. And when I say an entire city, it's basically because there's only a couple hundred people there now, at least in most cities, which is big considering most places. Cities are usually small tribes of maybe 100, so a couple hundred is a decent size. But he said that this entire city matched about 600. He said you don't know which one of them are guards because half of them are blending in like gorillas. But that's how they get the visitors without anybody noticing. Half the people, he said, in Charlottesville don't even know what they're eating. They go to a communal mess hall, they just eat. They're thankful for a place to sleep. They get up and carry on the next day. So, my gut was right. We would have met our end in Charlottesville. So, needless to say, I didn't even have to lobby as hard as it was because we needed the supplies, and that seemed like the best place so far. The Chancellor and Schulz agreed with me. No argument. We're going to circumvent Charlottesville. But Charlottesville's only a few days away. Did I really just say a few days? Not even a few days. A few hours away. Already I can see the traffic going in and out, or rather, going in. And the few people that are allowed to go out, and by the few people that I think are allowed to go out, I mean security and guards, militia, and mercenaries. So, we're going to detour that. I was actually out this past night looking for a route to get around the city without being spotted, and I think I found one. But we'll worry about that. Tomorrow. I mapped it out. It takes us within sight of the city from our respects, but we're out of their jurisdiction, as it were. The area that they patrol. As I've also heard that they'll usher people in with force, especially if they're in need of food. So we're going to head up around Charlottesville tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll keep heading west. We're hoping to settle in the plateau area of what was Virginia. Lots of mountains, almost toward Old City, Roanoke. Not a lot of organization out there, or at least not a lot of huge cities, as long as you avoid a city like Roanoke. So, I was relatively happy today. In the past 24 hours, I've gotten a new vehicle. We found a gas deposit. We were able to fill up our vehicles, or at least get more fuel in them. We got confirmation that my gut was right, and we're not going to Charlottesville. Which, in all reality, sucks, because it means we're going to have to find another place to trade our supplies. And the stuff we've scavenged, but oh well. We'll figure it out. We always do. So, here's a very happy, very at peace survivor of the fall. Relaxing at his camp and ready for a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep for the first time in a very long time. I guess here's to someone above looking out for us.